Hey, what's up, everybody? BDO44 coming at you with another video. All right, so the Lakers go down 127-100 in Game 2 of the second round of the Western Conference playoffs at Chase Center. Yeah, this one right here wasn't really easy to watch. Whole lot of garbage time in the second half. The LA Lakers could not really adjust to Steve Kerr's fantastic adjustments. And I'm not one to really get on the referees too much. Y'all know that's not my thing, but I thought that they took us out of this one a little bit, or a lot. So that was a good part of what was going on down there. Let's take a look at some numbers, since I took the time to write them down, even though I really didn't have the desire to do so, but we want to be thorough in the playoffs. So the LA Lakers, we had some tough quarters, man. The first quarter was really good. I thought we played a really good quarter, 33-26. We came out the gate and had efficient LeBron James, and it was just a lot of good stuff going on there. We had 3-point shots falling, and that was the thing. When I looked at the end of the third quarter, I saw the score, I saw the 3-point percentage, and I realized what we were doing wasn't sustainable. I was like, damn, how do we have this lead? LeBron James hitting all these threes. Oh, that's not going to continue. And so you saw in the second quarter, they went on a run, went up they had a 41-point quarter in the second quarter, and then proceeded to come out of the locker room with a 43-point quarter in the third quarter. All of the adjustments that they made were technical, in my opinion, spreading players out in different directions. As I said, the halftime video, just little things that would create opportunities. They had Draymond sprinting like a deer out there, trying to get pressure on the rim. You saw them use Gm2 driving at the rim a little more, as I told you they would. And then you got Klay Thompson just shooting the ball about as well as anybody will ever shoot it against the LA Lakers. I mean, he was spectacular, man. Absolutely spectacular. 8 of 11 from behind the arc, 11 of 18 field, plus 28, 30 points. I mean, this is why you don't pick the Lakers to sweep the Golden State Warriors, even though we have this amazing advantage, because these guys got so many championships and they've been through so many wars. You're not the first team that they've been at a disadvantage against and have still overcome and won. And so in a situation like this, you just kind of came in knowing that you were going to have to deal with it. Before the game even started, they were starting their garbage. Let me tell you something. I hope Kevon Looney is healthy, so I'm leaving the variable open that he's fine as well. Because honestly, I'm not really sure. Kevon Looney's never missed a single game in his entire career, and tonight, for some reason, he just could not go, and yet did go, played 12 minutes, and still managed to put up 6 points and 8 boards. I think that was a strategic thing that they were doing, given the fact that he is such a consistent player. They wanted to throw a monkey wrench at us that is really something that's kind of smart when you consider it. If you got a player, and this is what I said about the Lakers when AC Green was on the team way back in the day, or what I say about teams like Brooklyn now that they got Bridges, or even Golden State, obviously with Looney himself. When you have players like this, one thing the other team can do is pencil in whatever that guy's going to do, because he's so consistent and he never misses games. So just like your team can count on this player, the other team can count on that player in terms of what they're strategizing. You remove that player, the one time they've ever been removed ever, you're going to throw a monkey wrench in the team situation. And that's exactly what ended up taking place there with Looney being sick-ish. Kind of not really, because he didn't miss the game, because he's never missed any games. So this was just, to me, this was another version of a team. Does anybody remember when San Antonio, I think it was San Antonio, it actually might have been Cleveland, I don't remember, but in the playoffs, when we had a situation, no, it wasn't Cleveland because they were doing it to Bron, it was San Antonio. They turned the heat up on them. They turned the heat up on this man. They made sure that the arena was hot. All the fans was in there sweating. They turned the heat all the way up just to play mind games with Bron, just to mess with him, to see that he didn't handle well with the temperature and things like that. It's another version of that. Mind games. When you have a disadvantage and you know the other team's going to beat you if you don't do something, you do something, you do a lot of something. And that's exactly what we saw. We saw the Warriors do a lot of something in Game 2 to overcompensate the more than obvious advantages that the Lakers have over them. And they did it masterfully. It was a masterclass in jiving. They were jiving all night long. From the beginning, they were bullcrapping. Looney being out, bringing in Green, and then suddenly Green having the dynamic. And I mean, Jermichael Green, who played very well, 15 points on a +5, 6 of 9 field goals, 3 out of 6 threes. So he's out there shooting threes now. When you have Looney on the floor, that's an entirely different dynamic that you're absolutely penciling in because he's never not there. Getting 20 rebounds a game, that's a game plan for the Lakers. Last minute, he's not playing. Now they're putting in a stretch 3, who we don't expect, stretch 4 rather, who we don't expect to play well, but now he can't miss a shot. I mean, this just is this is strategy, yo. This isn't messing with our heads. Every time anything was going on with Austin Reeves, he was getting bumped every play. And he was off center today, and coach didn't pick him off the floor soon enough. That was the problem. You had Austin going 3 for 11 from the field, 1 for 5 from the 3, giving us 7 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists in 25 minutes, 2 turnovers, and a -22. They were really just doing a good job of identifying that he's banged up and then putting him in situations where he's constantly in a pinball machine every couple plays. So he was a step slow and on the floor too much for what it is we needed tonight. And like I said, his 3-point efficiency has been bad pretty much for the last 4 games. And so with Austin's 3-point shot disappearing, and then from there him being just completely off tonight all the way around, it made for a big part of what was going on down there wrong. So you got this happening, and then Draymond Green, like I said, he's sprinting up the floor like a madman as part of the adjustment to try to put pressure on the rim, which I figured was something they needed to do. He had 11 points, 9 assists, and 11 rebounds. Of course, that's one shy of a triple-double on a +15. I believe that is. I actually wrote +115. He did not play that well, but I'm sure that's a +15. He had one steal to go along with that. So with him having a big game, that's bad. They benched Jordan Poole. He only had 16 minutes in this game. 6 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists. I believe that is at a +8. So that was a big adjustment. And of course, you got Steph Curry being Steph. They put the ball in his hands and had him doing more playmaking duties. So that was an adjustment. 20 points, 12 assists, 4 rebounds, 7 of 12 field goals, 3 out of 5 3-point shooting. So he didn't attempt nearly as much threes. Yet another adjustment they've made, scaling back Steph's threes in this game. He was a +24. You got Andrew Wiggins, who only had 11 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, but he was a +35. So he must have been doing something right. And then you had Moses Moody, who I've been telling us has been stepping up big for the Golden State Warriors. He had 10 points, 7 rebounds, 2 assists, a +4. 2 out of 3 threes and 3 out of 6 field goal shooting. So that dude's been impressing me a lot on both sides of the floor, and they should have been playing him the whole time. And then you had GP getting some moments in garbage time with 3 out of 3 field goals, 7 points, 5 rebounds, and a +1. So they were getting a lot from a lot of people on the Golden State side of the game. And I just thought they pressed all the right buttons. They really did. They pressed championship level, Hall of Fame coach level buttons. They did everything they needed to do on the X's and O's from, strategically. It was just a basketball masterclass, honestly. It reminded me of the old San Antonio Spurs. We used to watch Popovich teams with Tim Duncan and Tony Parker and Ginobili and those guys, and they just squeeze you to death, and you never get close. You're close early in the game, you think you're doing well, and all of a sudden things start going wrong for you because they start doing different things that worked against you, specific to you, because they've been studying you. How you run up the floor, the rhythms you like to do, certain things players like to go into your positions and all this stuff. They looked at what you did and then devised specific things to stop the things that make you comfortable. So they did a bunch of that crap in game 2. It was just a masterclass, man. You got to give credit to the Golden State Warriors coaching staff as a whole for just doing their homework and then strategizing some genius stuff to stifle us. I just thought they really taught us a lot tonight. They taught us a lot. Our young players got taught a lesson. Austin, D'Lo, all these guys, they got took to school tonight by a legitimate dynasty. That's what I saw. And we got some garbage time out of it and a lot of rest for our players, which is something I actually am not upset about. You look at Vanderbilt, he only played 20 minutes. LBJ only played 28 minutes. D'Lo played 28. Austin 25. Rui 22. DS 19. Lonnie 12. And with every game being one day at peace, apart, You like the fact that we were able to get rest in this game. When you think about it, you probably thought you were going to lose this game anyway. So the biggest win for us walking out of this thing is that we got rest. And we know the other team is less rested because they played a 7-game series before this. And they're slightly older. So I love that we got so many players on the floor tonight. Anthony Davis, it's one of those situations where, like I said, it's an even game, right? Then unless that even number says 6, he's probably not going to play well. That's what Stephen A. told us. I think I got that right. But, it's psychological for him, man. 11 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists, 3 blocks, 4 turnovers. We like the blocks, but I don't know what he wants us to do with this performance. I don't know what he wants me to do with this. You know what I mean? When he's so spectacular and he throws this out here and I'm just like, well, I guess he'll be spectacular in the next one. I just got to, you know what I mean? I don't know what to do with this. So I'm moving on from it. Vanderbilt, 2 of 7. Love that he was chasing Steph around. 1 turnover, 6 points, 6 rebounds, 1 assist, -10, 20 minutes. You know what I'm saying? You have him on the floor to chase Steph around. He must be on the floor to do that. The problem is on the other side, you're not getting a whole lot. So we saw some of that tonight. Not great. LBJ, like I said, his first half was excellent. His second half was nothing. The third quarter was the only time he had a chance to play because the fourth quarter was such garbage time. So, we just didn't really give him a whole lot of help. I love the fact that he did not turn the ball over tonight. So you're looking at a 10 of 18 field goal situation, 3 of 8 from the 3. So his 3-point shooting was better than that in the first half, and he just bricked some in the second half. 23 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 steal, and a -27. And that's the thing. Braun got to take a look at his plus minuses as of late. They've been bad a lot. Like a lot. You know what I mean? So he's got to find ways of being more productive on the basketball floor just as a whole. And I know where it starts and ends. It's with the 3-point efficiency. Starts and ends there. D'Lo, 28 minutes, of course. We said 5 of 12 field goals, 0 of 3 from the 3-point line. So we couldn't get any 3-point shots out of D'Lo. We can't win that way. We need him to be able to account for at least 3 threes to me, in my opinion. He's going to have to, I ain't going to say average 3 threes. That's a lot of makes, but we do need him to be active from behind the arc in a positive way. 10 points, 1 rebounds. He hit the glass. 8 assists, 1 steal, no turnovers. We love that. -19. But it's like, guys got to understand, if you're not going to hit the glass, that somebody else is. That means the other team's getting boards on you. So we got killed on the glass, and I think D'Lo, with 1 board, 28 minutes is not going to help in that category. That's going to hurt us. And then we talked about Austin and complained a little bit about his efficiency being just in the dumps right now. 3 of 11, field 1 of 5, 7 points, 1 of 5 from 3. 7 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 turnovers, and a -22. I just can't do nothing with that, Austin. You know what I mean? I know you're being defended by some really good guys, but you look like you were moving as if you're in some pain. So if he needs to take a game off, we just need to swallow that because we can't have him out there running around for 25 minutes looking bad. One of the things that make us a very good team is the fact that he's so very efficient. So if he's not going to be very efficient, we're going to be a different basketball club. And that's what we need to respect. Dennis Schroeder had 19 minutes out there, 0 of 3 from field, 0 of 1 from the 3, 4 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals, 1 turnover, -8. At the end of the day, he got to the line, hit all his free throws, but I just ain't get enough from him in 19 minutes. You got to be able to account for more than this, man. 0 for 3 and he hit a field goal, bro. As I always say, we're not going to win if DS doesn't give us anything. In the last game, we got almost 40 points from him and D'Lo. Tonight, we got a combination of 14 points. So, the inconsistency from my point guards. I need more consistency from my guards. Period. Lonnie Walker, remind us once again, he should be on the floor. 4 of 8 field goals, 1 of 4 from the 3, 9 points, 1 assist, 1 steal, +3. I mean, you just can't justify not playing Lonnie Walker when you actually see the minutes that he gets down there and how he uses them. He should be in regular rotation, and I don't have an excuse for it. Neither does Darvin. It was nice seeing Double T get out there, man. He was 2 of 4 from the field, 5 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, +3 with no turnovers in his Laker debut. I forgot to write down how many minutes he played, but he was in the garbage time and did really good. A lot of energy there. So it was good seeing Double Team finally put on that purple and gold wearing number 9 for us. And who else didn't I mention? No, I didn't forget. I purposely left one name out for a very specific reason, but I'm trying to see if there's any other names that I want to talk about before getting to the most important one for me tonight. The most important name for me tonight is Rui Hachimura. Rui Hachimura had 22 minutes, 21 points, 5 rebounds, no assists, 1 steal, 1 turnover, minus 17. But the thing about it was he was 8 for 14 from the field and 4 for 6 from the 3. The boy could not miss yet again. He's killing everybody we're putting in front of him in the playoffs. He would have had probably over 35 to 40 points tonight if we would have utilized him properly. Simply put, I think he would have probably went. He would have went for 35. I understand. I'm not screaming at this camera about not playing Rui because I have given a lot of thought as to why that is the case. We do not play Rui as much because we need Vando on the floor to chase Steph. And we need to play Bron because he's LeBron. And you don't feel comfortable putting Rui at the 3 because you also have other things going on. And you didn't identify that Austin didn't have it. So what you needed to do was remove Austin and put Rui in there. So that's what needed to happen. Our coach has failed to utilize Rui for the production that he's given us in efficiency. And in a night where you only score 100 points, you understand where that was the mistake that you made that cost you basically your best opportunity to score against this team. And so in a night where a lot of things are going against you, you got your best player sitting on your bench just because you have a minutes mentality. And so that's what cost us, I think. I don't know you win the game anyway. Don't get it twisted. I actually don't think you do. But you definitely give yourself a much better opportunity to keep the game close. If you make Rui more of a focal point in this basketball game. So I think that was a obvious coaching mistake, and we have just got to open our minds as to how to use Rui in different positions. He can play the 3. And so can Bron. So we don't have to do that. In fact, it's probably best we don't. You got to utilize Rui, man. This is not just a one-game thing. This has been a problem for us throughout the playoffs because he is playing extremely well, but we won't utilize him to match that production, and it really would help us a lot. So, yeah, I have a hard time wrapping my brain around that as I continue to see Rui Hachimura torch both the Memphis Grizzlies and the Golden State Warriors. Neither one of these teams have anybody that can guard him. When you have a player on your team that no one really understands yet because they don't know that he's got these attributes, they don't know his game like we do, and you can catch teams off guard, the last thing you need is your coach also acting like he don't know what the player can do. This is the problem I have with him in regards to Lonnie, and this is the problem I have with him in regards to Mo Bamba. It's like, why are we acting like we don't know these dudes can do more than we ask them to do? Is that because we don't want to pay them in the offseason as much as it's going to cost to? That makes sense. Is it because we're trying to save them for later in some type of strategy situation, which ultimately could be a good thing if utilized correctly? But at the end of the day, from game to game to game, we really feel like we're leaving stuff on the table, and we always complain about it. And tonight, I don't think we could win this game many ways at all, but I still don't like how we lost when I see how much production we don't go to. And so that's where I have a problem. I love that LBJ was so very efficient, so I'm not telling us that we need to be sitting LBJ in this particular situation. Not this night, not with him not turning the ball over at all, not with his efficiency being fantastic in the first half. I also ain't saying I want to take Vanderbilt off of Steph Curry because I don't think we can really function very well if Vanderbilt ain't on Steph Curry right now. But I need Rui's offense. Vando's not giving me no offense. So something has to give, and the score is what's given. So I'm talking about in-game adjustments. Tonight was a game that the only way you were going to win this game is if your coach was savvy enough to be able to identify all the different angle adjustments that the Golden State Warriors were making, spreading themselves out a little further over here, pushing themselves a little further in over here, little stuff like that is extremely technical and very mathematic. Those were the things that kicked our butt tonight, the technical things, the math stuff. the geometry stuff. And they just, like I said, it was a master class, man. You needed to have a geometry teacher down there really telling you exactly how the Golden State Warriors were attacking us properly, because that's exactly what it was, properly done. And so I don't feel like we're in a position to feel any different than we did. But what I can tell you is I'm not 100% certain they're not going to keep doing geometry on us. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying to you. The adjustments were so very successful to now it's like, all right, Darvin, you got to go back out there and do some math of your own and show us that you can counter that and outsmart that dude over there. While those two shooters are shooting above, I mean, they shot 50% from the three. Let's not forget that. The Golden State Warriors definitely leaned into their strength, and the reason why they were able to do that is because they established the paint early in the various little geometry ways that they did, which I figured they would. They found ways of getting layups. And then from there, they were able to shoot the three and have more respect come to it, to other aspects of what we had to defend. So it just made for the way that the Golden State Warriors can beat everybody. Get in the paint, lay, and then everything opened up from there. In game one, we weren't allowing them getting the layups, and because of it, nothing else opened up but the three. So you just saw where the adjustment was made by them to force the issue and get in there and get in the paint. And then through the meat and potatoes of them two quarters in the middle, they just destroyed us, scoring 84 points in quarters 2 and 3 to basically just blow us all the way out. So it was a dynasty team showing you one way to overcome a massive disadvantage in situations such as these. So, if anything, we learn from what those masters taught us. We learn from the Golden State Warriors' greatness, and we do not be so cocky as to say because we have advantages with your roster that means you're going to beat them in a chess game in the sport of basketball. Because it's a science, and if you got guys that know what the hell they're doing, the geometry, so to speak, they will put you in a blender and have you looking like this. And you couple that with the referees, who are obviously there to do the agenda of the league. They wanted to make sure this series gets extended on top of that. First, it was the geometry stuff and the savvy stuff that veterans do when they've won 1 million championships against you. Then it's the ref layer. And the ref layer was incredible because these dudes were letting traveling happen. I mean, Steph Curry was out there walking. You got the ball flying off a guy's hips, and they call it kickball. That kickball showed me everything I needed to see. And I think it was at that point where the Lakers realized they were going to be playing a whole half of garbage time and kind of took their foot off the gas. Honestly, that's what happened. The Lakers were like, yo, why am I out here busting my backside when these referees are rubbing us completely out of this game? And so that's what it was. You saw a little funny timeout situation, stop and go stuff, fouls that weren't called for us, fouls that would go to them, swipe foul on Anthony Davis that touch all ball, and they give it to them at the free throw line. You saw weird stuff like that all night long where you're just like, all right, NBA, just let us know. You don't want the Lakers to win. We can put our bench in and save our guys the energy, and I think that's kind of what happened there. I think that's legitimately what happened. It's like, oh, halfway through the second, the NBA doesn't want us to win? Psh, we only get 1 day of rest each game. Let's just pull back, conserve our energy, concede this loss to the mighty gods of the NBA, and trust that they'll give it back to us at home. They probably will. They'll do the same thing the Golden State Warriors, probably remove Klay from the game with 3 early fouls or something. Because this is one of those. This is exactly one of those. And when you have the big Game 6 where everybody's excited and the arena's filled with stars and all that, you know how you got there. It's because they trashed this game. Did the same thing in the last series. Game 2 was the same way. Game 5, same way. So you just, after you see the pattern that the NBA's on, you understand that this is how they move, and you just appreciate when the grace comes to you. So that's what it was, man. Same old manipulated bullcrap. Ain't nothing new. But I did think that the Golden State Warriors did enough to where even if the officiating was on the up and up, we still would have lost. I really believe that because they really did all the right stuff. With adjustments, and I just felt like I watched one of the better playoff game-to-game adjustment processes that I had probably seen in my adult life, man. They were, like I said, it was spur ball. This is what I talk about, being intellectually competitive in your nature and not making mistakes and all these different strategic things. And I'd be looking and saying, "You're stupid, Darvin," because excellence look like this. This is what it looks like when the team says, all right, I see what you did to me, and let me attack those things that you did and custom everything I'm doing to you. It was just smart. And this is what I want to see from our team. So while you get your butt whooped like this is also one of those situations where I look back at my younger self when I used to quit games and I get my butt whooped, and I say, you should be happy you didn't quit this game. You should be happy you saw all 48 minutes of this game, because what you can do is take everything you learn from it and reapply it some other day to another opponent, because this is how you learn how to be great, by going up against greatness and having them give you the respect of focusing on you. And that's what we got tonight. That's what we got. So it just goes to tell you, just because you have the best roster, just because you got taller players, just because you have the schematic advantage, does not mean that they can't do a little bunch of stuff that can give themselves an opportunity to win the game in the end. They frustrated us. They got in our heads. They did what they did with the math. And we didn't adjust in the game to deal with it. We halfway didn't even understand what the hell they were doing. But I'm pretty sure that just like we did with Memphis, we will look at what they've done and it will counter it. Because we seem to be pretty good with that, if Memphis was any indication. So, adjustments will be made, man. I expect Darvingham to come out punching. We got the home court in the next one. I know our fans are going to be ready. Salute to Kobe Minute. I accidentally passed it. But, I felt humbled tonight with this game. Usually I'm complaining bigger and more upset. But, I view the game a certain way. And I just didn't think this is the game to be angry at all if you're an LA Laker fan. I'm not happy that we lost the game. But, I just understand that basketball is a very interesting sport. Sometimes you can win the game, think you've played horribly, and be angry. Sometimes you can get blown out and just see that the other team did everything right and that you just did not react well to it. And that's kind of what I seen tonight. We got blown out because they legitimately did everything they were supposed to do on the other side. And we reacted as their plans would have it too, since it was custom for us. So that's what I saw, man. That's it. I don't think that it's deeper than, you just got to leave Rui on the floor, man. Don't overthink this coaching thing, Darvin. You know what I'm saying? If a guy's on fire and the other team has to throw 7 and 8 different people at him because everybody they tried doesn't work, then damn it, that's the dude you need to be using more than anybody else. Half the time we were going to AD tonight, he didn't have it. They were locking him up. The defense was catered to stopping him. And you know damn well when that's the case, he doesn't usually do well. For whatever reason, the great player that he is, all you got to do is give him the defense that's meant to crowd him out, and you're going to hold him to 11 points. I mean, I'm surprised it doesn't happen more often, to be honest with you, given the fact that it happens so successfully each and every time it's attempted. He gets slow, he gets stopped. And he neutralized more so than any other superstar I've seen. He just get neutralized every other game, it seems. Throw a couple double teams at him, and you don't have to worry about it. Like, that's how it goes with AD. I don't get it, but offensively, that's exactly the story. So in a night like tonight, you just need to identify that built the wall around him and take some of those passes that were going to AD and get them to Rui. You know what I'm saying? And keep him on the floor to take pressure off of AD instead of having Vando, who puts pressure on AD by not being a threat at all. Half of those possessions go to nothing. 2 of 7. I mean, come on, man. That should have been Rui, and we know it. So, yeah, that wasn't it. That was not it at all. But I didn't think we made too many other mistakes besides that. I thought the rotations outside of that were okay. And like I said, I needed AD to have less minutes tonight. With 44 in the last game, him walking away with 33 here, hey, you find a million ways to lose. We could have lost with him getting 50 minutes in overtime, and we would have been exhausted, and the loss is still a credit to us. So I love the rest that we got, and that's something I'm going to take away from this. So the game ball goes to Klay Thompson, man. Klay Thompson is simply somebody that when he shoots like this, his team don't lose. 8 out of 11 3-point shots. I mean, what the hell are you going to do with that? I don't know how to stop that. So I hope he can't do it 3 more times. That's really what I got to say about that. And Jordan Poole getting benched is a telltale sign, baby. I think if this doesn't go well, if for some reason they lose this series, and he, in game 2 he gets 16 minutes, making like $150 million, I can totally see him being shipped out at the end of these playoffs. I'm just going to tell y'all that in game 2, before the series is even established, that is a sign that his money ain't worth it to their team. And you see a game like this, and he only gets 16 minutes. And they win by $1 trillion. That's a bad sign. So Jermichael Green, we're just gonna have to establish some understanding about this player. He can play. He's done some good things in Memphis. He's done some good things with the Clippers, and now they're asking him to step in and play well for them, stretching the floor out, making things very, very unorthodox for the Lakers, who were preparing for Kevon Looney, who just so happened to get sick for the first time in his life. I really do think that was a tactic. I think that was some bull crap. I don't think that boy's sick at all. I think they bought him some rest in a time where he hadn't had any rest because he'd been getting 20 rebound games every night, all playoffs long. He doesn't miss games, so this is the opportunity for them to get him some rest in a series where, like I said, every other day you got to play. So that's the smartest thing in the world is to cap about him being sick. Give him a 12-minute night and you win. Yeah, if I'm going to Golden State Warriors, I feel great about this series given that just took place. So they ain't fooling me. I'm not saying I'm the smartest person in the world, but I'm looking for the misdirection. I've been watching veterans do this stuff my whole life. I've been watching veteran teams try all types of different tactics. I've seen it all twice, man. So what they did tonight with Kevon Looney, Draymond, come on, bro. We the Lakers. We didn't seen that before, brother. We've seen stuff like that. So, and I call out Draymond because I'm pretty sure it was his idea. You got to throw something different at us. You got to take what it is that we're expecting and remove it. And that's what they did. So, yeah, man, I'm really curious to see how someone who really knows basketball can break down what Wiggins did tonight to get plus 35. I'm sure it's something incredibly technical about how he played defensively, but that is incredible for him to have plus 35. Given the fact that he didn't have a very loud night in the stats. So it's just curious to me how that actually came about. And we did see some Max Christie, but I forgot to write down his stats. I don't think he did a whole lot there. He missed 2 free throws, I know that. But it was good seeing him out there for a good extended period of time in a playoff game. I don't think he's had that many minutes all season, so that's really good. Shaq Harrison had a fantastic steal. I didn't lose sight of that, didn't write down his stats, but he did some good things. And I think we should utilize the possibility of him chasing around Steph Curry at times. I don't think we should be afraid to use certain guys because they can do certain things that really will help us and take pressure off of other guys. So, yeah, man. If I can really say anything, I just see a lot of guys on this Laker team that did not turn the ball over or kept their turnovers down. So if there's anything to take away from this game, it's that the Lakers did a much better job there. AD had 4 turnovers. Austin had 2 turnovers. After that, no one else had more than 1. And most of these guys didn't have a single one, including LeBron James and D'Angelo Russell. So that is a real huge positive, and I hope that we'll take that home and see that can be something we can duplicate again. It also tells me that the Golden State Warriors defense isn't really doing it like that. Not really. But they did kill us on the boards tonight. 15 rebound advantage, 11 on the defensive glass. So we just got to make sure we establish the fact that we are the bigger team and that they cannot out-rebound us like crazy when Kevon Looney's only playing 12 minutes. We really, really do not like that. That's a terrible sign. Absolutely terrible. Again, they shot 50% from behind the arc, so that's something that we know is not a strength of ours guarding the perimeter Lakers. So if you're going to allow for this, you must understand that that's going to be a game you lose. 9 steals. We love that we had 9 steals to their 2, so that's where we really shined tonight. But we didn't block enough shots. 3 blocks, they want that. They want that. Believe me, if you only have a 3-block game against the Golden State Warriors, they're definitely going to be advantaged for that. We need to be having 8, 9, 10 blocks against the Golden State Warriors. Erasing all of their point plates, adjusting all this extra geometry crap that they did to find themselves in the paint. Erase it. Adjust to it. And erase it. If you block more shots than 7 and 8 a night, you're probably going to be in favor to win the series, the game that you're in, rather. But this whole 3 blocks crap, that's not the Lakers. That's not the Lakers. We let them get far too many layups. We let them get in the paint far too much. 48-42. How the hell they outscore us in the paint? How'd that happen? And then 23-15 fouls. That's just garbage. That tells you where the referees came in. When you see a team like us foul more than them, 8 more fouls than them, then look at some of them fouls and tell me they were fouls. Come on, man. It was just a bunch of garbage out there when regards to officiating, and And that's not something I really talk too much about. But tonight was just like, it was pretty glaring. This was one of those. So I'm not too upset at my team. There were some things we could have did differently. I'd like to see a bit more common sense applied to guys who are playing well, maybe a bit more fluidity as it pertains to what we're married to. Vanderbilt does not have to be on the floor to the detriment of our rhythm scoring when the hottest scorer on the team is sitting down. Stuff like that you just can't let happen, Darvin. You got to audible out of something and go to the hot hand, brother. Got too many people not contributing to the scoring. You know what I'm saying? We're hitting 10 or 34 from behind the arc at 30%. But then Rui Hachimura has been able to hit threes all series long at a high clip. You know, tonight, 4 out of 6. I mean, what the hell are we doing? It's 4 out of 6 from behind the arc. And we're losing by 27 points with him only being on the floor half the damn time. I mean, what are we doing? So that's really what I have to say about that. As you guys already know, Clay got the game ball with all them damn threes. And that is really all I have to say about this basketball game. I'm not overly upset, but I'm moderately upset because we didn't completely use our common sense. It did get out-thought out there. So that's what I got to say, man. Game 3 is in a day back at Anxiety Arena. I'd like to think that our team is going to be ready to go and make the adjustments necessary to figure out what the hell they just did to us schematically. So that's what I got to say. Thank you all for watching BDL 44, and I'm out.